What's up, everybody? It's your boy Cam and T Man back with the Cam and T podcast. I am your co-host Tony T Time West, man, and I got my boy with me, co-host of this show as well. Cam, what's going on, bro? Happy Tuesday. You know what it is, man. Happy Pod Day, bro.
Yeah, happy pod day, bro. Happy Tuesday. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing good, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm hanging in there. Same to you, bro. Same to you.
Yep.
I'm excited for this one, man. I think this is gonna be a really good one. We got a lot of topics for y'all tonight. A lot of stuff
Yeah.
on deck. Y'all already know what's happening in the NFL world. It's going crazy.
Yeah.
College football season still well underway. I think we actually had the
Midway.
midpoint of the season now, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Crazy, man. I
I
don't
feel
I
like
know
college football season just go by so quick, and it's my
it's
favorite
fast, bro.
season.
Exactly.
And it goes by so quick. I'm like, dang, how are we already halfway through the football season, like college football season?
It's short, man. I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta wait. You literally wait 7 months for it, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, it's gone. I mean, it's just
Yep.
I think it lasts from what August, the last week of August, really the last day of August. So
They are. Yeah, I'm about to
September.
say, you might well say September, bro.
Yeah. So really from September to like mid-January now
Yep.
at this point and for the 12 team playoff. So I mean, you get 5 months, the back half of your year, or excuse me, the back end of your year in college football, and that's it. The rest of the year is just boring, bro.
Boring. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because NFL end the year, or excuse me, the month after college football. I mean, it's crazy, bro. And
Yeah.
I hate that it goes by so fast, but it is what it is, man. It's a blessing to even have college football, bro, and
Yeah.
all of that
I've
stuff.
been
So
I've been saying it the last couple of weeks, bro. Like I've been enjoying college football a lot more this year,
yeah,
really, than the NFL. I haven't. I mean, we'll probably jump into it later. And I tweeted this out last night. I think the NFL product right now is on a decline, man. Like I don't know if you watched that Bills Jets game last night. The refs were absolutely god awful. Quarterback development is at an all time low. It's just bad, man. I don't. The NFL. Everybody always says, "Well, oh, the NFL is a better product than college football." I don't really know if it's that far off anymore, to
yeah,
be quite frankly honest. And college football is more exciting, more passionate, more
yeah,
fun. So
and
and also the Panthers suck. So I want to
yeah,
throw that in there too. So that also ruins my experience of the NFL as well. I'm not biased. I'll be honest. The Panthers suck and definitely does ruin, kind of how I look at the NFL, honestly, because my team has no shot and really ain't had a shot the
yeah,
last 7 years.
or
So
really longer, maybe.
yeah, right. So again, it was just some bad refereeing. And again, man, we're gonna talk about that tonight. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it tonight and see, you know,
Yeah,
how we feel about the NFL. But it's gonna be a heavy football night, heavy on the NFL, heavy on college football. It's gonna be heavy. So I'm excited. And I'm excited to get into it. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Before we get started, go ahead. If you like this type of content, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are on YouTube. Go ahead and hit that subscribe to on Spotify, Google, iTunes, where you listen to your podcast, everywhere. Go ahead and take a look at that. Hold on, Cam. Wait a minute. I'm looking at TV right now. I ain't mean to throw you off. Is the college football playoffs committee thing tonight? Is this their first one?
I don't
Are
think
they
so.
showing it like they about to pick teams?
What
Yeah, I'm looking at this like, hold on.
is it
Maybe it
tonight?
don't start tonight. I don't know, but it just popped up on my ESPN. I was trying. Maybe they just showing something, but I didn't. I don't think it starts tonight, right?
It should be tonight, boy. Let me find out.
It is
Tuesday,
college
November
football
5th.
playoff ranking, so maybe it does start tonight.
Tuesday, November 5th is the first one.
Okay, Tuesday. Okay, I don't know why they got it on right now. They're acting like they about to start
What is
showing
it?
the rankings now. I don't
What
know.
they
Whatever.
what they saying?
They just on here talking. They just showing how the 12 team playoffs is gonna work, and it's actually on ESPN right now, where it's literally showing college football ranking show. So I don't know. Yeah, I thought it would be like what you said, kind of like close to the end of the year, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's
What I
crazy. Anyway, let's get back on topic. We'll get into college football later on. But a lot going on. We're gonna talk about the NFL. We're gonna talk about college football, and we're gonna have a good time. So y'all just tap in. Cam, I mean, brother, where do you want to start first in the NFL? Because it's kind of like the NBA right now. Everything is happening.
Everything kicking
I mean,
off.
it's a whole bunch going on. I don't even know really where to start. We got people getting traded left and right. We got stuff is just kind of crazy right now.
Yeah. Let's talk about what you had alluded to a little bit earlier with the NFL and college football game, like the actual the product of it.
Yep.
I want you to go ahead and get your bars off because I want you to expand on what you were saying earlier when you were saying that you don't think there's a big gap between the NFL product and the college football product at this point.
I just, for me, I think the expansion of the college football playoffs now looks to be a really good thing because there's really no dominant team in the. I guess you could say Texas right now, but there's no really like super elite team like how it's been Georgia the last couple of years and Alabama before that and Clemson before that. It's not no super dominant team. So I think that has helped with the product. Also as well, a lot of the offenses from college are now going up to the NFL. So you're essentially watching the same thing. And again, I talked about this 2 weeks ago. I feel like quarterback play is absolutely doggone horrible right now. There's only 6 or 7 quarterbacks, in my opinion, in the NFL that are playing good football right now. I'll name them for you. Lamar Jackson, he's playing good football right now. I don't know if I'm putting Patrick Mahomes in that layer. He's been okay, but he ain't playing great. He's been okay. He's still the best quarterback in football. We already get that, but I'm not putting him up there. I would say Lamar Jackson's playing amazing right now. Sam Darnold's playing amazing right now. As crazy as that sounds, he's playing amazing football right now. Josh Allen is starting to get back to where he was because he struggled the other 2 weeks before that. He was terrible, but he's starting to turn around a little bit. Burrow is starting to turn around a little bit as well. He's starting to play good football. After that, the list is already kind of getting skimped. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm trying to think on top of my head. Like, Jaden Daniels, of course. CJ Stroud, of course.
Jordan Love in there.
Jordan Love is playing all right. But after that, bro, that's kind of it. Like, I literally just named 7 people. Like, that's the list to me. Everybody else is either playing like
Baker Mayfield.
I'll throw my boy in Atlanta in there too. He's playing pretty good too.
Kirk
Cousins. I'll throw him in there as well.
Give me Baker Mayfield
bro,
as well.
It's not really a lot, bro. I'm gonna be, and that's 8 people I just named.
Yeah.
So I think the development of quarterbacks have been pretty bad.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not impressed with what I'm seeing at the quarterback position in the NFL. And it's funny because Tom Brady brought that up like last year. He was like, quarterback development sucks. And everybody laughed at him, and everybody was like, oh, he's just trying to be a shucks and get his little bars off because he got 7 rings. But he was right. Quarterback development right now is terrible. You got to think about it. We grew up in a time where we had Phillip Rivers, bro. Drew Brees, bro. Matt Ryan, Cam Newton, Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady, Peyton. They were all in there at the same time.
Yep.
I don't know if we're going to see anything like that for a while because I don't really see a whole bunch of quarterbacks in college that's coming out that's going to be like that. Now, I could be wrong, obviously, but, that's just a fact. So I think that's been part of the problem too. But I think a lot of the offenses are coming over from college. I think the talent gap is not that big as it used to be anymore. And I think a lot of the same and similar play calls are happening now as well. So that's what I think personally. But what's your take on it?
Yeah, somebody, I don't remember who it was, but somebody told me a long time ago that football, what's the word? Advancement, I guess. I'm missing the word, but essentially it starts on the back end. So they said where all the innovation, that's the word I was looking at. Innovation starts in high school, actually. You know what I'm saying? High school are the ones that are running these new high power offenses. And then the collegiate teams take them. And now you see the NFL teams are starting to take them, as they should, because a guy like Jaden Daniels don't need to be running no NFL offense. The college offense works perfectly fine.
Yep.
And for him to run. You know what I'm saying? You got to ask the
defense. Kingsbury, bro.
Yeah, he's doing a pretty good job. You got to ask the defense to stop it. You know what I mean? I noticed Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? Like his offense, he ain't never really taken a snap under center. He's always in the gun. No. You know what I mean? The Ravens, we run the pistol pretty much at this point.
Which
you know
is
what I mean?
Essentially a college offense.
It is a college offense.
With Todd Monken from Georgia. So
Yeah. So I mean, I think I think in terms of the product, in my opinion, you said quarterback play. I think DB play around the NFL is a little outside of your elite guys. A lot of them dudes in the NFL kind of suck, bro. If we being really honest, like I've seen, and maybe it's the talent at wide receiver that just makes these DBs look bad. That's probably what it really is. But I've seen guys in the NFL miss wide open tackles. I've seen, you know what I'm saying? Like they
does look rough
cover
this year.
pass interference. It's been bad. And then in college, yeah, you have that kind of stuff, but it's not like in the NFL where having a bad DB will literally end your whole night. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just, and then I think my biggest issue with the NFL right now is the games that they choose to put in prime time. That's my biggest issue.
They've had that issue for a couple of years now at this point.
It's been terrible, bro. Listen, first of all, Thursday Night Football, I think we've kind of said it before. They might need to consider canning that because that's a terrible product, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Unless, this is what I say you should do. Thursday Night Football should be strictly divisional games. Only divisional games. Don't put a random, like when they had the Commanders and Bears a couple years ago, we don't want to see no more of that.
Yeah.
Divisional games only on Thursday.
Yeah.
Do it that way. 2 teams coming off a bye week, maybe. So so like this week, the Chiefs and the Vikings came off a bye week.
Or maybe going into a bye week too.
Yeah, like had them play on Thursday. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see no more I don't want to see Jets in prime time no more. And I'm gonna get into them a little bit later on.
They got like 4 or 5 more primetime games too.
I've had enough of that. And they keep getting primetime games. And you remember last year it was a mess, and it kind of ruined the whole season for a lot of people because the Jets had a lot of primetime games thinking that we were going to see Aaron Rodgers, but he got busted on the first play of the game. And it was nothing but Zach Wilson.
Yep.
We don't want to see the Jets in primetime no more. We don't want to see bad. This week, you know who we got on Sunday morning in London next week?
Jags and somebody, right?
Yeah, and the Patriots. Ain't nobody getting up at the ass crack of dawn to watch that, bro.
Yeah,
nobody's watching that. Thursday, who play on Thursday? I don't even know who play on Thursday, but is it it's not 49ers. That's who played last Thursday, wasn't it? 49ers.
Yeah, 49ers played last Thursday.
So that's a divisional game. Give me more of that. I know the Falcons and Bucks, I think, played on a Thursday already, or unless that's this Thursday, but that was Sunday.
That was Sunday night. Yeah, that was a Sunday.
Give me that Sunday night.
Oh, we got Broncos and Saints. Ain't nobody watching that either.
Ain't nobody watching that, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, why did you put the Broncos? I know every team probably have to have a primetime slot, but why put 2 bad teams? The NFL knows they write the script. They know his teams are gonna be bad. You know,
I mean, you could have named it before the season that the Broncos and Saints were probably gonna be 2 not good teams. Saints started out hot, and then it kind of came back to reality. Yeah. They suck.
Yeah, like they lost 4 in a row, and the Broncos. They got a surprisingly good defense, but I mean, it's just look, man. The rest of we don't want to see that though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like they are. It seems like the first Thursday night game of the year is always really good, and then the rest of them just suck.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then why do we have to watch the Bengals and Giants in prime time on Sunday?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Flex. They should have. The whole point of having flex games is so that you can actually make a decision on what the better game might be.
Right.
Everybody would have rather watched that Ravens and Commanders game at night
100%.
Rather than the Bengals and the Giants.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest issue with the NFL is the scheduling. It's the primetime scheduling. Monday nights are typically pretty good. I don't really like watching the Jets again in primetime, but at least we got to see the Bills again. I know the Bills are a pretty popular primetime team, but at least we got to see them. But I don't want to see no more of the Jets in primetime. I don't want to see no more Patriots in the primetime. I don't want to see the Jags in the primetime. Don't want to see the Panthers in the primetime.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the Broncos, the Saints. You got to stop. You got to just stop doing that in primetime. Give us the Chiefs at night. Give us the Steelers. Cowboys is America's team. You can keep them. You know what I'm saying? You can keep the Bengals, the Ravens, the Bills. You know what I'm saying? All of them fine. Lead them in prime time. But we don't want to see no more of this nonsense, bro.
Yeah.
I think that's my biggest issue. But everything else, I'm with you though. With the college game, I think the college game is just better. I mean, it's not.
And honestly, it's kind of funny because I think the video game has even kind of helped it a little more too. Because now when I see certain players, I'm like, oh, that's dude from I be going off on him on NCAA. Or I like, oh yeah, I try to give him the portal. So now I be actually checking for guys that I would never be checking for before. Like, I'm like, oh, let me see what so and so doing. Like, what he got going on this season. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I've been doing that too. So I think that's also helped the game of college football as well. But yeah, again, I think the NFL sucks. Or like product wise right now. Not saying that it's not still the best, but it's falling off a good bit.
Right.
Let's move on to the trades because a lot done happened today. Devontae Adams is now a Jet. Oh wow, we're so surprised. You know who didn't see that coming. Amari Cooper has left Cleveland and he's now going to be a Buffalo Bill. I think Cam Akers was traded today as well. I know it's not as big as the first two trades.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, that just happened like 25 minutes ago. He got traded back to Minnesota. So you know he was with the Rams and they traded him to Minnesota and then he went back. He went to Houston. Now he's back going to Minnesota. So a reunion of sorts there. So a lot of trading going on. How you feel about the Devontae Adams thing? Let's get the Devontae Adams thing out the way. What did you think?
So like you said, the biggest that was really a huge surprise to me. I mean, I really didn't see that coming. Like when they said that Devontae Adams was considering a trade, and he already said that he wanted to go play for one of his former quarterbacks, somebody that he had rapport with. Who would have ever thought he was going back to the Jets?
Right.
Like, come on, man, be for real. Like, they should have been got that done. To be honest with you,
yeah.
And I think Woody Johnson, the owner, he kind of. I think he's seen what happened last night. He's seen, unfortunately, our guy Mike Williams didn't look too well.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson apparently had a drop. You know what I'm saying? And I think Aaron Rodgers did more crying. And I think he said, you got to bring my guy in. And it's pretty clear at this point that who's calling the shots in New York. And as far as how do I think it's going to work out, I don't know. I mean, to be completely real with you, I don't know how it's gonna work out.
Yeah.
Because they already had weapons. To be completely frank with you, Mike Williams ain't bad. Garrett Wilson's obviously one of the better receivers in the whole league. Breece Hall and Braylon Allen are really good running backs.
Mm-hmm.
And then you supposedly had an elite quarterback, and then you got Lazard. I don't know how it's gonna work out. To be completely honest with you, Devontae Adams is one of the better receivers in the league, one of the best receivers in the league. He is a future Hall of Famer, sure. He has rapport with Aaron Rodgers, sure. But the offense is still the offense, bro. Aaron Rodgers is still 40 years old.
Yep.
Somebody was going back and forth with me earlier today on Twitter. That brother is old, and he gets every excuse in the book, and all he does is whine and cry. And he done got coaches fired. He pulling his GM leg. He be on the phone with the owner. At some point, we got to be honest about Aaron Rodgers. Maybe he just can't get it done.
Yeah.
Anymore. Maybe he was a one Super Bowl ring kind of guy, and that's perfectly fine. Still one of the greatest of all time, but maybe he just can't get it done.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, at this point, he's 40 years old. Not just he's 40, he's coming off an Achilles injury as well. So that obviously is a big hit anyway. I think for me, I kind of with you on this one. I don't really think this changes anything for the Jets. Like, I know everybody's changing their odds and, I think they could. And their schedule is actually pretty easy going forward, not going to lie. I still don't think this really changes anything for the Jets, though. I don't. Like, yeah, you're going to be having two weapons at wide receiver that are really, really good in Devontae Adams and also as well Garrett Wilson. But again, I'm not really quite sure how good that O-line is personally. That's another issue they've had the last couple of years there. I don't feel great about that. Aaron Rodgers has gotten to the playoffs if they make it there and has choked several times. And I think the Bills are surprisingly better than what we thought as well. So that's another thing that I want to kind of transition on into as well is Amari Cooper is now a Bill. So that makes that team better as well. Now, I think that actually does affect that team a little bit because Amari Cooper is going to be the best wide receiver on that roster by far, and it's not close. And they were already playing pretty good with a bunch of slappies at wide receiver. So now that they've added a different weapon in there, I think that actually is going to be a difference. I don't really see no difference. I don't think there's going to be a big difference with Devontae Adams on the Jets. I don't really think it's going to be a big. But with Amari Cooper joining the Bills, I actually could see that being a difference maker. I'm not going to lie because, like I just said, they had a bunch of scrubs on there and they were still playing pretty damn well. Not going to lie. So I think that adding Amari Cooper to the Bills is a bigger deal to me than Adams going to the Jets because I'm kind of with you. I don't think Adams really changes a lot for the Jets, to be honest.
Yeah. No, I as far as Amari Cooper goes, it gives Josh Allen a legitimate wide receiver one at this point, which is good for him. And then he's a security blanket too. You know what I mean? He's not somebody he's not really a burner. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's not going over the top, but he's gonna get you that first down that you need. He's gonna get you that touchdown that you need. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a very quality wide receiver in this league. And then shout out to Jordan. He said it earlier. The Bills actually traded more, or the Browns actually got more for him than the Cowboys did when they traded him 3 years ago, which is kind of crazy because I don't know if you remember this, but I remember everybody was like, "Oh, the Cowboys got a good deal. They had to offload the receiver because they weren't going to pay him and this, that, and the third." But you got a fifth for a guy that was in his prime, like somebody that we were saying back then when he was with the Raiders, he was top 10. When he was with the Cowboys, he was top 15. You got a fifth for that? You couldn't even get a third. And now he's 30 years old, and I think the Bills got like a fifth and a sixth or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, or not the Bills, but the Browns. So they got more. No. The Cowboys got a fifth and a sixth round swap. I think the Browns got like a third and a fifth or something like that. Somebody, y'all go out there and check that for me. But regardless, this is a good trade for both sides. And by both sides, I mean the Bills and Amari Cooper. Because he finally gets to go play with a good quarterback, and the Bills finally get somebody that they can kind of rely on offense. Now, I will say in terms of Josh Allen, the interceptions are probably going to go up now because he's going to force it to Amari Cooper. But that's fine. He still hasn't thrown any interception or any turnovers on the season, which is
he's been really good.
Yep, really insane to say for somebody like him. 13 touchdowns, 0 picks. So good for him. It'll be interesting to see what they do moving forward because I think they really needed to get right game against the Jets last night. And even though they looked pretty good, there were still some things that, I mean, they really should have ran the Jets about the stadium.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of an issue. But again, we'll see moving forward. Like I said, I think it was a really good trade. And I'm with you 100% in terms of I think it's going to be more. That trade will mean more for the Bills than the Adams trade will mean for the Jets.
Yeah.
Because we seen the Bills at least have a pretty good offense even without him, and
even
they're
without
really
him,
better. So
and that running back from Kentucky, man, Ray Davis, he's pretty good, man. He was good at Kentucky, so I'm not really that surprised. But that kid, he's going to be pretty good. I'm not going to lie. So very impressive game for him. Now let's kind of transition over to some more stuff that we wanted to talk about tonight. Let's talk about, Russell Wilson getting the start over Justin Fields. After a 4-2 start, Justin Fields has played, to me, I thought, pretty well. I haven't really, seen him struggle as much this season. It seems like they were kind of playing to his benefits. Like they were playing to kind of to fit the system around him. I thought he has played pretty well overall. He's only thrown 1 interception this season, 5 touchdowns, 100. He's 66.3 completion percentage, which is for him pretty good. And then also as well, he has 1,100 yards right now. And that is not even considering also the rushing yards that he probably has as well. This is just the passing yards. So I want to ask you about that. 4-2, and Mike Tomlin is deciding to kind of let Russ get on back in there. How do you feel about that?
I think that's a bad decision.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I think that's a bad decision. I think it could come back and bite them in the behind because Justin Fields is a guy who just came from Chicago, somewhere that didn't give him a lot of confidence, somewhere that didn't empower him to be their quarterback of the future.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for him to go into Pittsburgh, play very well, and still not get that confidence and still not get that empowerment, you know what I mean? That stability of thinking, well, I'm playing well. At least I know that I don't have somebody breathing down my neck.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now you put him on the bench, which again, he was coming into the season. He was supposed to be QB2 anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we all can agree that at this point in their careers, Justin Fields and Russell Wilson are at least on the same level. If not, Justin Fields is better than Russell Wilson right now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to know what happens if Russell Wilson goes out there and stinks it up.
Yeah.
Because how can you put Justin Fields back in the game? Because if I'm Justin Fields, I know he won't do that. But if I'm Justin Fields, I'm kind of like, man, get me up out of here. Like, you gonna sit here and put somebody else? Like, why did you bench me?
Yeah.
Like you benched me for that? For somebody, we came in here to compete. Yeah, he got hurt, and it's not fair to him, but I played well. I've earned this. We're 4-2 right now. You know what I'm saying? I've earned this job. I'm better than the last 3 quarterbacks y'all done had. I'm better than Trubisky. I'm better than Rudolph. I'm better than Pickett. Hell, I'm better than Ben Roethlisberger in his last couple of years at this point. Why did y'all do me like this? And then if I'm Russell Wilson, you got to perform.
Yeah, I was about to say, he throw one pick, they're going to be calling for him to come on out.
He throw 2 picks. You know what I'm saying? Because that's already more than Fields got on the whole year. Russ, man, he gotta perform, bro. I don't like the decision. I think people were saying it a couple weeks ago. They were saying Mike Tomlin was kind of being a little funny about it because it really didn't make sense that when they were 3-0, he was still talking about Russell coming back. Now they're 4-2. He's still talking about. He didn't put Russell in, gave him the first team reps. I don't like that, man.
Yeah,
I don't like that at all. And then think about your future. Think about the future of your franchise. Justin Fields, he needs all the snaps he can get right now. Let him keep rocking out because you never know. If you had a real play caller in there, because I keep saying Russell, but Justin Fields has been on the money this year. He's been throwing dots. You got drops. Good. You got all these other things, but he's been throwing dots and he's been playing very good. And in addition, we already know what he can do with his legs. You could have got a real play caller in there. But you rolling with Arthur Smith. That's the real issue right there. And then your wide receivers aren't that good. George Pickens is a jag. That Kelvin Austin kid is talented, but he ain't nobody, man. You ain't got no guys. Jalen Warren and Najee Harris are back there, sure, but you ain't got no receivers, man. And Freiermuth is solid, sure. But I don't know, man. I don't like the decision, bro. I really don't. I can't get behind it.
I 100% agree, man. When you look at what Justin Fields has did this season, I think in my opinion, this is the best start to a season he's ever had in my personal opinion. Yeah. I think he's playing really good. He's been able to keep the turnover margin down with only 1 interception. Now again, some of these passing numbers are not the greatest, but anyway, the Steelers are kind of focused on running the ball. They kind of have always been like that under Mike Tomlin, to be quite frankly honest. The last couple of years, obviously. And again, he doesn't have a whole bunch of playmakers at wide receiver either. A lot of people hype up Pickens. I think he's a decent to good player. But besides that, they really don't have any weapons that he can throw the ball to downfield. I'm kind of with you on this one, man. I don't really agree with them benching him, and they just won, and they're 4-2. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really know if that's the move I would make, and I don't know if I would make that move for Russ on top of that.
Yeah.
I could see, but with somebody like Patrick Mahomes, and yeah, of course, you put him on back in there. But for Russ, I'm kind of like you. They're kind of in the same neighborhood as each other, like right now. Obviously, overall, Russ had a better career, but you know what I'm saying? Right
Yeah.
now, they're kind of in the same ballpark. So there's no reason to really rush him back on in there and y'all ain't losing. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my personal opinion, and Justin Fields is doing enough. So I don't know. Kind of interested to see what happens with that though. But I'm with you 100% on that. I wouldn't do that personally. I wouldn't have let him walk. I wouldn't have put him back on the bench. Me personally, I even said it earlier in the year. I was like, man, they might need to be giving him a contract. To be quite frankly honest, because he's been so good for them.
Go ahead, put that pen on that paper. Do it now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Give him a
It
little.
ain't gotta be no crazy deal. Give him that
Right.
Jordan Love special that he got that year. I know it was a 5th-year option, but like give him something like that. You know, give him something kind of light at first. So
give him that money that Cam got when he came back to New England that second year before they cut him.
Yeah.
They gave him, I think it was like 10, 14 million, something like that.
Yeah.
Give him that.
Give him that and call it.
And rock out, bro.
Yeah, and see what happens. So I kind of agree. But anyway, let's move on to the next thing. Who do you think is the best team in the NFL at this moment? I'll kind of give my take first. I think it's the Minnesota Vikings, bro.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I think the Vikings are the best team in the NFL right now. I know they didn't play this week, but they are playing really well. Their defense has been surprisingly really good. I'm not gonna lie, especially with losing. What's my boy that went down there in Houston? What's that boy name? Danielle Hunter. Thank you. Especially with losing him, they've improved, bro. Brian Flores doing a tremendous job up there, bro. And I'm not gonna lie, Sam Darnold's playing good football. I mean, I already know that the offense has always been quarterback friendly with O'Connell, but again, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to say right now at this moment, yeah, I'm gonna have to put the Vikings at number 1 right now, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I can't knock it. I think they are a really good team. What are they, 5-0? The Chiefs are also 5-0. I don't think the Chiefs are the best team, though. I can tell you that right now. But if I'm being real with you, bro, I gotta go with my Ravens, man. The last 4 weeks, man, boy, none. I mean,
they're looking good.
They looking really good defensive. I'm actually really surprised that the defense is looking as good as it is. Because we lost a lot on really across the line. Obviously losing Jadeveon Clowney to the Panthers was rough. The offensive line too, I'm really surprised by because we lost Morgan Moses and John Simpson, both of them to the Jets.
Yeah.
And the offensive line has done a really good job, especially in the run game. They've actually been excellent. But I think you got really, in my opinion, your 2 MVP front runners right now in Lamar and Derrick Henry. I think Zay Flowers is playing out of his mind. Rashad Bateman, I got to give him his flowers too. That brother been separating. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's been outstanding. And then the tight ends have been playing very well. I'm still worried about Mark Andrews because that interception Lamar threw literally hit him in the chest and it just bounced up. But obviously, Likely is outstanding. And then Andrews, when he's been a really good blocker. Justice Hill is a really good blocker. So I just think that the Ravens are playing the best ball out of anybody currently right now. So I would say they're probably my best team in the league right now.
I'm not gonna lie. I think they're top 5. I think the Lions are better than the Ravens right now, in my opinion. Yeah. I think they're playing pretty. I still think the Vikings, if I had to say who would win that game right now, I know it sounds crazy because it's Sam Darnold against Lamar. I'm probably picking the Vikings because of how good that defense is. And then I probably would put the Ravens maybe right there at 3, but I don't think they're better than the Lions or the Vikings now.
Vikings.
Now they are running the ball at will. Like Derrick Henry looks like he done turned the clock back. He's playing amazing right now.
Yeah.
But I think the 2 teams up north, and all of a sudden, man, don't sleep on the Bears. The Bears look good all of a sudden.
That's true.
I mean, they look impressive. I know it's against the Packers. I mean, the Panthers and the Jaguars, but they look good, man. They look like a solid football team. That defense looks really good. I'm not saying I'll put them up there with this team, but I'm just telling you, I think the Bears are going to be like an 8 or 9 win team, 10 maybe even. That division is so stacked though, like the Packers, really good. The Bears, really good. The Lions, very good. The Vikings, tremendous. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
The Texans too.
Yeah.
And the Texans
Yeah,
are
Texans, they're playing great too.
not
Yeah.
not in the same division, but I'm
Yeah,
just
but
saying.
yeah, just in general, yeah, they're playing great.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think right now I probably would still lean Vikings, close Lions number 2. It is the Ravens number 3. It does seem since those losses at the beginning of the year, it does seem like they've kind of like turned the corner a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, don't sleep. Washington not playing bad football
Yeah.
right now. The Commanders all of a
Yeah.
sudden, because they hung in there with y'all for a while. I'm not
They
saying
played a good game.
top 5.
They played a good game.
But they look like a decent team. Low key right now, they slick look like the best team in the NFC East right now.
Yeah.
So again, that's another thing you guys just got to keep eye out for. But
I think the Buccaneers also need some credit because they
Buccaneers,
especially
the Falcons. The
offensively.
Falcons need some credit. They look amazing. I mean, I hate to say it as a Panther fan, but the Falcons look like a top 10 team, top 15 team in football right now.
Shit, they higher than that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they look pretty good too. So the Falcons deserve some credit as well. So again, man, I think those teams are playing pretty good. And yeah, that's kind of where I would have them. I would probably, like I said, at 1 have Minnesota, and a close 2 have Detroit, because I hate that they lost Aiden Hutchinson yesterday. So he's done for the season, obviously, with a broken leg. And then I probably would put, and that's the only reason I ain't put them at 1 really, because he's been disruptive this year. He's been real good.
Probably would have won Defensive Player of the Year.
He would have won Defensive Player of the Year, bro. He leads the league in sacks right now. He's going crazy this year.
And pressures, all of that.
And pressures. Yeah, he was going absolutely crazy. And then, like I said, at 3, I probably would have your Ravens. So again, man, I'm impressed with those teams. Let's you know what? Let's talk about the Panthers for like 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Okay. Panthers got blowed out by the Falcons. A lot of people are asking, should we put Bryce back in? Because I've been seeing the discourse on Twitter. What do you think about that? Try to make it short. Give me a minute or so explanation.
Okay. Should we put Bryce back in? Oh man,
because the season's cooked. The Panthers are 1-5. They're not winning. Are they 1-5 or 1-6?
They won in 5.
So yeah, the season's cooked. They're not doing anything, especially with the Falcons playing as good as they're playing. The Bucs is playing as good as they're playing. They're not winning anything.
Yeah.
So the season's already over. So what do you think?
I don't know, T. I really don't know. I really can't say. The season's over, so I mean, there's no harm in putting them back in the game.
Yeah.
But a 2-week benching or whatever, 3-week benching, is that enough?
Right.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like, is that like what's the point of that? You know, because I thought the way Dave Canales is talking, he makes it seem like, I mean, the way people are saying, Sheena, Vasta, all of them, they make it seem like Bryce will be, he's still the quarterback of the future in some extent. He just needed a timeout, essentially. He just needed a break to kind of gather himself and essentially not to break up his body. Yeah. But then again, Canales put him in at the end of last week after we was getting blowed out. So I don't know if you put Bryce back in. I don't think Dalton has been terrible. He ain't been no worse than Bryce has. So why? I don't know. I really, I have no idea, bro. What do you think?
I ain't gonna lie, I don't care. To be quite frankly, I've kind of tuned. I didn't even watch the game the other day, so I don't really care. To be quite frank, my interest for the Panthers gets lower and lower every single year.
Yeah.
And to be honest, from what I kind of can see and hear, I don't think Dave Canales really likes Bryce like that, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. The way he talks about him is like, yeah. I'm here just because I wanted to be a head coach in the NFL. I really don't give a damn about Bryce. Like that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from him. Now maybe that's just him putting on a show. But from what my vibe is I don't think Canales really ever liked Bryce like that. And to bench him that quick, he was terrible. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he cared. I don't really think he took the job for Bryce. Because, a lot of times the people will take the job because they want to work with that quarterback. And so, especially with an offensive coordinator like him. I don't think Bryce ever cared about Bryce. He just wanted to be a head coach. He wanted to fulfill a dream. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. But I think that's more so what he was going for. But honestly, bro, I don't care. Like I see a lot of Panthers like, oh, let's throw Bryce out there. I don't think it matters. You're going to be 1-6 16 either way it goes. I think with Dalton
Yeah.
or Bryce,
Yeah.
I don't think the team is very good. The defense is absolutely god awful. One of the worst, and actually they probably are the worst in the
worst.
NFL. Yeah, and they're gonna get worse because there's more injuries popping up too as well. So again, I don't really think it matters personally. I think Bryce will probably, if you want to know my real synopsis, I guess, I think Bryce gets in the last 6 or 7 weeks of the season when they're like 1-10 and the season's over at that point. 2-9, something like that. And then they probably throw Bryce back out there.
Yeah.
That's probably what's going to end up happening. But I'm kind of with you. I wouldn't pull him back out this quick. And, it's only been 3 weeks. At least give it a month.
What's the point?
Yeah, right. What's the point? Because if he goes back out there and sucks again, he's going to be double cooked at that point.
Yeah.
It's going to be real bad. So, yeah, that's my take on it, honestly.
Because the thing about it is, if you put him back in, you can't take him back out.
You can't take him back out. That's what I'm saying.
That's the real issue. And, I mean, you can't – if you bench your starting quarterback twice, if you bench the starter and then bench the backup for the starter, your season's over at that point. It's never worked out for any team. I remember, I think the last time it kind of worked out was, I think the Commanders or Washington back then, they had Rex Grossman and John Beck. Remember that? And they kept going back and forth between both of them.
Yep.
And I think, I can't remember if they made the playoffs or what, but I remember something happened because their defense was just so outstanding. But they ended up getting RG3 anyway, and neither one of them boys was back the following year. So, I don't know, man. It's just you can't do it, bro. You can't.
Yeah, I agree. One quick thing before we move out to college football, Malik asks, who would you draft with your first overall pick? Whoever is the first edge rusher to come out is my pick, which I guess is the kid from A&M. I think Travis Hunter obviously could be in the conversation as well. Even though I don't think Dion will allow that to happen, he will pull a Eli Manning. If any of his boys get drafted by the Panthers, he's going to pull Eli for sure. And I can't blame him. Yeah. The organization's absolutely god awful. I would pull an Eli if my son got drafted to the Panthers right now, if I had that type of pull. So I get it. Yeah. So that's my take on it. But who would you think? Who do you think, you would?
Yeah, I'll probably take Travis Hunter or shit, it's gonna have to be an edge rusher, bro.
Yeah, it's gotta be defense, bro.
It's gotta be.
You
can't take no.
Bro.
Yeah, I wouldn't take nothing. I would definitely look into an edge rusher. Obviously, I mean, I don't think you can take a quarterback next year. To be honest with you, I don't know if you can.
No, I don't think it's too many holes at other places, bro.
Yeah, you got to do something on defense, man. Really, you need to take an edge rusher or Travis Hunter at this point.
Yeah,
I don't know what edge rusher, but
yeah. I agree. I'll take an edge rusher. Let's transition over to college football real quick. We just seen a tremendous weekend of college football. Alabama was on the ropes again against South Carolina. Alabama, man, I don't know how good they are. I think they're going to probably lose a couple of games this season. I'm not going to lie. We got to see a really good game in Oregon and Ohio State up there in Eugene. That was a really good game. But you brought up a proposition, and we were talking about it earlier. We are getting close to when the college football playoff rankings start to come out.
Yeah.
So we are both going to present our top 12 teams and where we think, where we would have them. So I'm actually going to let you start off. Top 12, Cam. Give me your top 12. If you want to, how do you want to do it? You want to start at 1 or you want to start at 12? How do you want to do it?
Start at 12.
Okay, I'm going to let you go first. Go ahead and start at 12. Now, you got to remember, at 12, it's going to be probably a group of 5 team there.
Oh, shoot. I forgot. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because a group of 5 has to get in somewhere.
Okay, so we doing it in the order, like the playoff order.
We don't have to do it in the order. I'm just telling you, we don't have to do it in the exact order. But what I'm saying is, you do probably want a group of 5 team in there because there's going to be one in there for sure.
Okay. Well, what I'm gonna do, because I put them on the bubble just to say. So at 12, so Boise State would take that 12 spot in the playoff. But for me, my 12th best team in the country is Notre Dame.
Okay.
So I got Notre Dame at 12. Who you got at 12?
So at 12, like you just said, I have Boise State. at 12, and I also have Notre Dame at 12. I
Okay,
think
yeah,
Notre Dame is kind of starting to turn a corner. I know
yeah,
it sounds terrible because they're annoying and people hate their fan bases, but they are starting to slowly turn a corner there. And I'm gonna tell you another sleeper team I might would put at 12 too if they keep playing the way they playing. A&M,
yeah,
A&M, they
yeah,
starting to turn the corner too.
yeah. They
Um,
looking good, man.
yeah, they starting to turn the corner. But go ahead at
Yeah,
12. We both got Notre Dame at 12.
yeah. And then of
But we,
course,
we
like you
would
said,
put at 12. We would put in the
uh,
real college ball. We would put Boise State.
Boise
Gotcha.
State, yeah,
Yep.
yep.
Mhm.
And at 11, I actually have Ole Miss there.
So you
I
still
know
believing?
I still believe they got two. I know they got two losses, but I still think Ole Miss is a really good team, man. I mean, they played so good against LSU this weekend. I don't see how they fell all the way to 18 in the AP top 25. I don't know where you got them in your top 25 or whatever, but I was surprised that they fell that low. I know they got two losses, but I still think they're a pretty good team, and I think it's okay to have only two losses, and make it to the college football playoff. I don't know who else they got on their schedule this year, but yeah, I still believe in Ole Miss, so I got them at 11. Who you got?
So at 11, this one's gonna be a little bit of a surprise. I'm not gonna lie. I got BYU, bro. BYU right now is
Mm,
playing really good ball. They are at this time, I think they're only 5-1. They're 6-0. So they're 6-0. They haven't lost a game. And then when you look at the rest of their schedule, they should be favored or possibly win every single game left. They have UCF. I think that's a dub. They have Oklahoma State this Friday. I think that's an absolute dub. They have Utah, who looks absolutely terrible right now. I think that's a dub. Kansas absolutely sucks right now. That's a dub. Arizona State is playing very well. They're 5-1 right now. Kenny Dillingham is doing a tremendous job with them. But right now, I still would say BYU. And then Houston is terrible. And they got them at the end of the season. I think there's a possibility that BYU will be 12-0 going into the Big 12 championship against the other team I have that will rank in a few seconds. But I got BYU, bro. I think
they didn't
BYU is
lose. They didn't lose yet. I thought they lost.
BYU has not taken a loss yet, bro.
They
No.
undefeated. Okay.
Yeah, they're undefeated, bro.
So what's that? That's 11.
That's 11. That's why I got 11. Yep.
At 10, I got Tennessee. I got
Okay.
Volunteers.
Talk me through it.
I done lost you for a second, but Tennessee, man, they still. I don't know. We talked about Tennessee. We talk about them every week. I don't know, man. The only reason why I still got them ranked in my top 10 because they only lost the one game, but they didn't look that good against doggone Florida, and you was kind of supposed to run Florida out the stadium. And Nico didn't look good. So for me, having Tennessee at 10 isn't really a positive thing. That's just me saying they lucky to still be in my top 12. If you feel me. So who you got at 10?
I'm not gonna lie. I don't have Tennessee in my top 10. I think Tennessee is gonna have a couple more losses. I think I'm just telling you, I think they're gonna have a couple more losses. They have Bama this week. I think they lose that game.
Yeah.
They have Kentucky, who's all of a sudden kind of playing good.
Yeah.
Then they have Georgia at Georgia. I don't think they win that game. And don't look too fast. They have Vanderbilt at the end of the season, who's playing absolutely tremendous. I could see them losing two of them games, bro. I don't have them in my top. I told you before this podcast, and I told you I would explain when we get on here. Yeah. I'm out on Tennessee, bro. I'm out on them. I'm with you 100%. You've been saying it for the past 2 weeks. That offense is too bland. If you shut down that running back, it's Jover.
Yeah,
game is Jover. You put 8 in the box and shut down that running back. Nico is not quite ready. Not saying that he can't be ready. He's not quite ready to make those plays. And somebody just said my number 10. At 10, I got LSU. I think LSU is all of a sudden kind of turned the corner. That Kyron Lacey boy is cold. He's good, man. Now, I do think they're going to lose a couple more games, which is why I have them at 10. I think they're going to lose to Alabama. But again,
really,
I even though I don't know, they could beat Bama though. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm not believing. And that game's in Death Valley too, so I'm not. But I think I don't know. LSU, my only issue with them is defense. And that's one thing Alabama does have. That offense can score.
Yeah.
But their offense is really good, and Alabama's defense sucks all of a sudden. But I'm gonna put LSU at 10 in my personal opinion. That's where I have them at.
Okay. Well, I got LSU at 9 actually.
Okay.
So like I said, I was gonna swap LSU and Ole Miss in the little top 25, so that would have put Ole Miss at 13. But I wasn't ready to put I wasn't ready to put BYU in mine, and I don't know if you got Iowa State in yours, but I don't, so I wasn't ready to put them in mine either. Yeah,
you don't have Iowa State in your top 12? Well, I got them next. I got them at 9. I got Iowa State in there. I'm telling you, Iowa State, bro, another undefeated team that's playing really well. When you look at their schedule, they only really have Texas Tech and Kansas State at the end of the year. And I think they will be favored going into both of those games. Again, Iowa State's, man, that Matt Campbell has really got those guys playing. I got them at 9, bro. That's actually why I have it 9. I think Iowa State's going to make the playoffs this year. I do. Wow. I actually think they win the Big 12, which will
straight up.
Straight up. Yeah.
Ooh.
I think Iowa State's getting in this year, bro. I do. I'm believing it. But I got them at 9 now.
Okay. And who you said they got Texas Tech and who?
They got Texas Tech and also as well Kansas State. Those are the 2 big games they got left.
That's going to be a good game. The Kansas State game. But okay. Okay, well, at number 8, I got us, Clemson.
Okay.
The only thing about Clemson, the only thing about us is I want to see us play a good team again. I want to see what we're going to do against Pitt. I want to see what we're going to do against Louisville.
Yeah.
If we run them out the stadium like we ran everybody else out, these last couple teams, I'm feeling really good. I can even put us even higher than that. But I'm going to just keep us at 8 for now. I feel like we should have probably went up a little bit because we kind of dog walked Wake Forest, especially in that second half.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of had our way with them boys. So I feel like I was surprised Iowa State jumped us in the polls because they jumped up pretty high. But give me your number 8.
At 8, I got Bama. I got Bama at 8. And the reason that I have them at 8 is really because of the rest of their schedule. Besides the LSU game, seems pretty manageable. They have Tennessee, obviously, this weekend. Now, this weekend could tell a lot because if they lose to Tennessee, then we talk about a team that could potentially lose 3-4 games. But they got Tennessee, Missouri. I don't think, me and you talked about them. I don't think they're as good as we hyped them up to be. Yeah. Then you got LSU in Death Valley. Obviously, that's the game I can see going either way. Then you have Mercer. Oklahoma looks absolutely god-awful right now. They do not have a quarterback, and you cannot win games with no quarterback in college football. That's just how that goes. And then you play Auburn. You know, that game is in Tuscaloosa, but that's always a weird game. But I only realistically see them losing potentially 2 more games, and one of those are this weekend to a Tennessee team I don't really believe in. So really, I only see them losing possibly 1 more game, which is LSU, in my personal opinion. So that's why I have them there at 8.
Okay. Well, I got them at 7.
Okay.
I got Bama at 7. Kind of the same thing. I kind of wanted to drop them after the South Carolina game because it was a little too close for comfort.
Yeah.
Really, the only reason why they lost because Lenore's missed a pass.
Yeah.
To be completely real with you, they shot themselves in the foot on all 3 phases of the game. Offense, defense, and special teams. So I did kind of want to drop them, but I decided to keep them at 7 this week, same as the AP Top 25. Just for the reason that you said, though. Offensively, they still are really good. You know what I mean? And maybe they're just going through a slump, or maybe this is the norm for them. We don't know yet. We'll see this weekend against Tennessee, but who you got at? That's my number 7. Who you got at? What you at? You on 7, right? Yeah.
Yep,
who you got
I'm on 7 too. So we just flipped. I have Clemson at 7. I think Clemson right now. Okay. I'm kind of with you. I want to see us play against Louisville, Pitt in a couple of weeks, and that'll really tell me where Clemson is. But dude, I mean, how many offenses are playing better than Clemson right now? Like, not a lot. Oregon, I would say Texas, Ohio State, but then after that, Clemson's right up there with those cats. Alabama. I mean, Clemson's firing on all cylinders right now on offense. And that's something that we've been waiting on for the last, 3-4 years now at this point, since Trevor Lawrence walked out the door. So essentially, I think Clemson's offense has kind of been the strength this year over even the defense, because the defense has shown some weak points this year. But the offense has been absolutely spectacular since the Georgia game, and I got them at 7. Who you got at 6?
At 6, I got Miami. I got the U at 6. Only reason why I got them that high is that they keep finding ways to win. That's all it is. Until they lose, if they even lose, until they give me a reason to believe that they're not gonna win, I'm just gonna keep them at high. I mean, they're right now. I know Clemson's at the top of the ACC technically because of the points that we've scored. But that's gonna be a really good matchup. Yeah. If that is your ACC championship, I think the ACC actually got a couple other good teams, to be honest with you, that kind of give me a little worries. But yeah, I got Miami at 6. Who you got?
Are you ready for a shocker? At 6, I have the Georgia Bulldogs. Hear me out. Hear me out. I don't think Georgia's that great of a football team, you guys. They're good. They're good still. That defense is god-awful. They gave up 31 points to Mississippi State, who Toledo even gave up less points than. Toledo. I'm sorry, bro. Georgia looks bad. Offensively, they don't really look that great either. Honestly, they really haven't. I'm going to be honest, bro. They really have only had 2 high points this season. The second half of the Clemson game and the second half of the Alabama game.
Yeah, that's true.
Besides that, they've been very mediocre looking. I'm going to be honest. They have Texas this weekend. I'm picking Texas to win that game. I'll just go ahead and say it now. I think they're going to have 2 losses on the schedule already before Halloween, bro. Then they play Florida. Should be a dub. Ole Miss, they're going to get a dub there. I just don't believe in Ole Miss. Tennessee at Athens, they should get a dub there. And then they got Mass and Georgia Tech. They should win both of those games. So I do think they end out their season 10-2. But I don't think Georgia is a college football like championship favorite. I don't even think, that's just my personal opinion. I don't think they are, bro. But I do have them at 6 because, like we just talked about, Ole Miss is not what we thought they were going to be. Tennessee is not who we thought they were going to be. So that's why I have Georgia at 6.
Okay.
Well, who you got at 5?
I got Georgia at 5.
Okay, so we just flipped again. So I got Miami at 5.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's. I mean, I no real explanation. Kind of the same thing what you were saying. I wouldn't have them in my top 4. I think the top 4 is pretty clear. Yeah. So we can go ahead and move on to the top 4 unless you want to talk about Miami.
Yep. No, let's go ahead and move to the top 4. I'll start it off. Okay. At 4, I have Penn State. I think Drew Aller has kind of taken that next step for me. Kind of similar to Cade. I don't think he's playing as good as Cade right now, but he's playing really good. He's starting to play a little bit more confident and kind of like what we thought Drew Aller was going to be when he came out of high school. That defense is really solid as well. Michigan sucks, so that helps Penn State as well. And I really only see 2 teams that we'll probably jump into in a second that look to be clearly better than Penn State in that conference. So again, Penn State has always been the third wheel in that conference. Looks like they're going to be a third wheel still, but they'll still get in the playoffs. And I have them as my 4th best team in the country right now. What about you?
Same thing. Same as that reasoning. Yeah. Actually, I'm pretty sure we probably got the same top 4 then. At this point.
So who you got at 3?
Ohio State.
Yep. I do too.
Oregon and Texas.
Oregon at 2 and then at Texas at 1. So we got the same top 4. I mean, and again, and I do want to talk about Texas real quick.
Okay.
Texas is a good fucking football team, y'all. Like, we got Texas is back. They back. That team is dominant. They're physical. They're athletic. They're just good, bro. And shout out to Steve Sarkisian. He's been through a lot in his career. So it's good to see a guy like him get back on top. No Diddy. And him really be that boy trying to hold his laugh, but for real though. But it's good to see Steve Sarkisian making Texas kind of great again. And I'm telling you, bro, they got a lot of dudes on that team that is really solid, bro. Texas, again, and it's like even their backup, the depth even is good on that team. Look at their quarterback room, bro, alone. Their quarterback room alone is impressive. Quinn Ewers, your boy,
Art.
Manning. They got another quarterback behind him that's supposed to be pretty good. I mean, the running back room, they're down to their running back 3, and he looked like he could start at like 80% of the D1 schools. Like they're just loaded. Wide receiver room loaded. So Texas is back, and I think that's good for football, man. I think Texas and Miami both being good is good for college football. I'm not gonna lie. It's made this season a lot funner to have those fan bases back involved. But I think Texas is a clear cut. If there is an elite team in college football, I think there's 3. I think it's Oregon, Ohio State, Texas. Them 3, I'm like, yeah, they on a different level than everybody else. Georgia's not even on their level. Georgia's not even on their level. And that's coming from a person that been like, oh, Georgia's the greatest team ever in the last 3 years. Georgia's not even on their level. So we're going to see that. I think Georgia wins pretty big on
Texas.
I think Texas wins pretty big against Georgia on Saturday. I do. I think they win by like 10, 14 plus points. I really do. Because Georgia just looks so bad. Hopefully, they can prove me wrong, but I just don't see it. But yeah, I'm really a believer in Texas. I think they're doing a really good job. That was all I had to say.
The test of a really good football team, in my opinion, is what they do to their rivals.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Texas just ran
Oklahoma out the building from start to finish.
Out the state.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, and I know we already said Oklahoma was down a quarterback. They didn't look good at the quarterback position.
But that defense is still solid, and they still got ran through.
They still got 34 hung on their head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm in agreement with you, man. I think Texas is the best team in the country. I did want to touch on Oregon and Ohio State. I thought that game was outstanding.
Oh, absolutely. It was a cinema, bro.
To me, and this is my issue, kind of what I was talking about with the NFL. That game should have been called by Kirk Herbstreit and Chris Fowler, bro.
Yeah.
There's no reason why we getting. I mean, the NBC dudes wasn't even.
Yeah, that was terrible.
It was terrible, bro. No offense, but
no, it's offense. They were terrible, bro.
You said no, it's offense.
Yeah, they were terrible, bro.
It was trash, bro. That game was so good, big, man. It was too big and too major for them dudes to not be hype about it, bro.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question about Ryan Day. We talking about Ryan Day. He's 1-7 now against teams ranked in the top 5. The only win was against Clemson in the Sugar Bowl a couple years ago down there in New Orleans. People are overreacting to Columbus again.
Yeah.
Saying that he should be fired. He should be let go. How do you feel about Ryan Day at this point? Because it is kind of crazy that he wins every other games but the big ones, it seems like. But how do you feel about Ryan Day? I guess the question for real.
I mean, so this game right here really could have went either way.
Either way,
really could have easily been 2-6. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. If they lose for some reason, if they lose to Michigan at the end of the season, I think you gotta make a decision.
Yeah,
you gotta make a decision because that not only does that knock you out of the college football playoff most likely, or a good chance that it does,
because Michigan's barely ranked and they shouldn't even be ranked.
So that's
terrible.
There's a good chance that kicks them out of the playoffs. And if you lose the playoffs and you had arguably the best team going into the season, you probably need to roll, bro.
Yeah.
I've never been a Ryan Day guy. I never thought he was that good.
Yeah.
But I'm also a firm believer in don't get rid of something until something better comes along that you know is gonna be better. Mm-hmm. So like I don't know if I would just up and fire him after the Oregon game. That doesn't make sense to me. You lose one game and you really only drop in the college football playoff. They
played well.
They played really good. I mean,
I thought Ohio State played really well.
That's how a game between the number 2 team in the country and the number 3 team in the country. I was telling people, I was like, "Are y'all sure like Penn State should have jumped Ohio State?" Because I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. It should. They should just flip spaces.
They should have just switch spots. Because like you literally lost by 1 to a team that's ranked right below you.
Spot above. Yeah, right.
Yeah, like that doesn't warrant losing a couple of spots, especially to Penn State.
And Penn State barely beat SC the other day ago.
And they had to come back to win that game. You know what I'm saying? They was down a lot. So that's why I was like, I don't know about that. And a lot of people were like, well, Penn State's undefeated and they got a huge win. I think that was a huge loss, a good loss from Ohio State.
If you can think of a good loss, that's definitely that.
That's as close. That's as good of a loss.
That's about as good of a loss you can get.
Yeah. I mean, that you
On
didn't
the
play
road
bad
against a top 3 team, 1-point game. I mean, that shouldn't really hurt their resume at all.
at all. You know what I'm saying? It should
Now they
really
got Penn State though in about 3 weeks. I am a little interested to see in
work.
Nappy Valley in Happy Valley too.
Nappy Valley.
That's gonna be interesting, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying Penn State wins that game.
Right.
If Penn State beats Ohio State, my energy about Penn State will change.
It was
Because I like that tight end they got at I think his name's Tyler Warren. He was going crazy against USC.
Yeah.
He had like 17 catches for like 200 plus yards. Dude was going crazy.
Yeah.
Panthers, y'all might need to holler at him. He pretty
what's
good,
up.
man. But yeah, anyway, like I was saying, Penn State, I agree with you 100%. I don't think I would have just flipped Oregon and Ohio State. I would have put Oregon at 2 and then Ohio State at 3 because
if they
Penn
played,
State, I don't know, just
because like you said, if Ohio State and Penn State played, I don't think I would favor Penn State over them.
No, I wouldn't either.
Excuse me, maybe because they're at home. Like I could probably see that, but still, I mean, it's just that's what I'm saying. You would still say Ohio State is a better team. So
yeah,
I don't know how we can say Penn State should be ranked higher than them, you know?
One question before we end it out tonight. Who is a team, and you might have named them, who is a team that people are maybe sleeping on right now that you think could be a contender or at least make a little bit of a run in the playoffs? Who do you think is a team?
SMU.
So you think SMU can run the table here?
They favoring everything. They favoring all their games. All they got to do is just handle their own business. I think they.
So what happens? So what happens if Clemson wins out, Miami wins out, SMU wins out? Who? What happens then?
The tiebreaker, I believe, is Clemson because they got the points, the most points. I believe is how it works. And then I think it goes by points. If I'm not, no, it doesn't go by points. What it is if they all win out, they take the teams that they played against each other. Or excuse me, they take the teams that they've all played against. So all 3 of them will play against Florida State this year, I think. And I think they combine win percentage or something.
Okay,
I don't know. It's a weird thing. They know how to do it. But
I'm gonna pull up SMU's schedule real quick because I do remember you saying that last week they're gonna be favored every game. So let's pull up their schedule.
Yeah,
they got Stanford. That's a dub.
Yeah,
they got Duke. Should be a dub. They got Pitt. That's gonna be a good game. The second. That's gonna be a good game. They got Boston College. Even though Boston College is 4-2, SMU should win that game. They got Virginia, who's also 4-2 and coming to play Clemson this weekend. They should win that game. Yeah, they're gonna be favored in every single game because they got Cal last week of the year. So they should be favored in every single game this year. So that's going to be interesting.
And that'll be what 11-1 because they lost.
11-1 because they lost to BYU.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
So they will be 11-1. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I think Miami should be favored in every. I know they play Louisville this weekend. They get past Louisville, they're in the clear.
All 3 teams are favored in every single game. Clemson, Miami, and SMU. That's why somebody brought it up. They was talking about the potential tiebreaker because there's a good chance that they probably gonna have to use whatever the tiebreaker is.
So Miami goes to Louisville this weekend. That's gonna be a really, really good game. So they go to Miami this weekend. I mean, they go to Louisville this weekend. Then Florida State sucks. That's obviously a dub. They got Duke. Duke is a good team, but they should still win that game. Georgia Tech in Atlanta is a sneaky one on the 9th of November for Miami. They struggled with Georgia Tech in Atlanta a couple of times now. Wake Forest sucks. They should win that game. They end out the year with Syracuse, who is 5-1 and playing pretty all right, but they'll still be favored in all these games.
Bro, I just realized we not play Georgia Tech this year, bro?
We don't. Clemson. So now with the new, I guess, like protected rivalry crap, only team that we have to play every year in the ACC is Florida State. Like next year, we don't play NC State. We won't play NC State again, I don't think, until like 27 or something like that.
You're kidding.
Yeah. So we don't play NC State like every year no more. We don't play Boston College like every year no more. So yeah, these protected rivalries have kind of got messed up because of the realignment and stuff.
I like that.
I don't like that either.
Keep NC State on the schedule. Keep Georgia. I wanted to keep Georgia. I didn't know we didn't play Georgia Tech.
Yeah, we don't play them every year.
Dang.
Those days are over with.
You were supposed to keep because Georgia Tech, first of all, they close. And then we shared a Heisman, the John Heisman. So I
Yeah,
figured they was gonna keep that one. Obviously, Florida State's getting kept, and then
yeah,
yeah, I'm really surprised. NC State. I mean, we literally play for a trophy. I'm really
yeah.
surprised they
That
ain't
game
keep
will
that
no
one.
longer be that game
What?
will no longer be annual, and a lot of that is because they added in um, SMU, Cal, and Stanford. Because before the realignment, our three teams we were supposed to play were the ones you just said: NC State, Georgia Tech, and Florida State. But now
Florida
they've
State.
changed it since we added in those new teams, and now everything's different. So that's pretty much what it is on that.
What about So I guess we probably play SMU next year then, huh?
We will play SMU next year. Yeah,
And Cal.
I think we do play Cal next year. Yeah, I think in California too, if I'm not mistaken.
That's gonna be crazy. That's probably gonna be the first game Clemson ever played in. No, we won one of them championships in San Francisco.
Yeah, the one against Alabama with Trevor Lawrence was in California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
So I don't know, but yeah, it's been pretty crazy, man. I can't believe the college football season halfway over, but I've been enjoying it. Yeah, it's been fun, man. It's been fun to watch. One last thing before we sign out for real this time. One last thing. That Ashton Genty kid's pretty good, isn't he? He's good. He might be the Heisman winner, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like he's good, bro.
Can't knock it.
Yeah, I mean, he's putting up Barry Sanders numbers, bro.
He beat up on Oregon State. I mean, on Oregon.
Oregon, yeah. He ran all over Oregon, and now that looks real good.
Yeah, very good.
I don't know.
He had more carries and yards than both of the Ohio State running backs combined against Oregon.
Yeah, that boy different, man. All right, man. Listen, man. We appreciate y'all love and support tonight, man. Appreciate y'all coming out. The comment section was live tonight. Appreciate y'all, bro. Thank y'all for coming out and joining us and supporting us. Cam, brother, as always, thank you for what you do for the pod and being here with me every Tuesday night, man. Appreciate you. Love you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. That's pretty much it, man. Did you want to say anything before we close it out tonight?
Nah, man. Thank you too, for everything that you do. It's good coming on here every week with you, bro.
Yeah.
I love doing it. Appreciate y'all for being in the comments every week, going crazy.
We might have to tune up some NBA talk next week though, because I think the start of the season is next week.
It's yeah, it is. It's the
23rd.
Yeah.
22nd or 20. No, it's a week from today.
Sheesh.
It's a week from today, I think.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not even ready for the NBA to come back.
I'm not gonna lie, Cam. I am.
Really?
I am ready. Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm done with like the NFL, bro. I think it's because the Panthers just been so bad, bro. But yeah, bro, I'm ready, bro. Yeah. So yeah, next Tuesday night, the Knicks and the Celtics play at 7:30. That's the first game of the season. And then the Timberwolves and Lakers play later on that night on the West Coast. So next week is the start of NBA.
And what's it called? Yo Hawks though, man. You sure you're gonna be ready for that? You sure?
I'm more so excited to see what the Lakers gonna do with Bronny and them. That one I'm more so excited about. Because I kind of pull for the Lakers too a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of excited to see what they're gonna do this year.
I want to see, Russ.
Yeah, he is with y'all. That is right. He's with Denver now.
Yeah. Mike Malone. I did want to bring this up. I don't know if you've heard it, but what he said about us being not in condition.
He's saying that a week before the season start. We're gonna hold it the next week, bro. Cause I think next week we're gonna be heavy on the NBA.
Because preseason, started back, and basically what happened was they asked him in the press conference why the starters essentially played the whole second half.
Yeah.
And he said because they wasn't in shape, essentially.
Jeez.
And I'm like,
what about your boy Jokic?
I don't know, bro.
I don't think that kid likes basketball like that.
He do. See, the thing about Jokic, he be so locked in. I think the thing about him is he ain't got. See, he locks in, but I think he's not a psychopath.
Yeah.
See, Kobe and Mike, obviously, they was locked in, but they was locked in 365, 24/7.
Yeah.
I think Jokic is locked in for them 82 games, but after, because I mean that's his whole year, and he not used to being in America. He don't want to be here. He like his family. He's a big family guy. He loves his farm. So he locks in, but he's like, well, damn, like when the season over, I'm ready to go.
Ready to go. Yeah, it's like a typical job.
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of like us. Like when we go to work, we might be locked in at work, but when we get off work, when that weekend hit, don't call me, don't text me, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not, and no, and Jokic, he works. His form of working out is doing what they do over there. You know, he work out with his horses. He do his thing. He not like these guys that be doing hyperbaric chambers and be in the lab and be dribbling and sweating and whatnot. Jokic is outside when he off work pretty much. So but yeah, we'll get into it next week.
Next week probably gonna be a heavy basketball week. We'll get into it next week. But again, appreciate y'all's love and support, man. We're gonna holler at y'all next week, man. Y'all take it easy, bro. Have a good week.